really hypnotized, are you? You think you are? Okay, why don't you take a seat? Give her a good round of applause for her. Good. So, are these chairs comfortable up here? Anything happen over here? Okay, because you need to take a seat too, so give them a good round of applause. What happens is, you know, it's all about focusing. Sometimes, I appreciate everybody out here volunteering. What happens, sometimes we can focus and sometimes we can't. And so that just proves to you, the other thing is I can't make you do something you don't want to do. So if you want to volunteer for it, anybody, try and do that. It's a lot of fun. But even in hypnosis, I can't make people do something they normally would do religiously, ethically, or moralistically. So the person I'm touching, you now can remember the number 6. So go ahead and count for us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Thank you. Oh, we still got 11 in there. Go ahead and go down deeper, deeper sleep. That suggestion is now removed. You'll be able to count normally. All right. I'm going to have you stand up in a moment on the count of 3, and I've hypnotized your tongue, not your head, if you understand. I've hypnotized your tongue, but I would like for you to recite, just because everybody knows Mary had a little lamb, I'd like for you to recite Mary had a little lamb with a hypnotized tongue. On the count of 3, you'll stand up, take my microphone, and you will recite Mary had a little lamb with a hypnotized tongue. Nod your head if you understand. Great. 1, 2, 3.
Mary had a little lamb. It's a piece of white as snow. Everywhere Mary went, she took.
Give him a good round of applause. That was just totally awesome. All right. The person I'm touching, go ahead and go down deeper, deeper asleep. Very relaxed. Deeper, deeper asleep. On the count of 3, your hands are going to rotate really fast, and you won't be able to stop them. They'll rotate around each other. Your hands will, on the count of 3, rotate around each other, and you won't be able to stop, and it'll just make you laugh. You're going to think that is the funniest thing. Nod your head if you understand. Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, rotate your hands. It just makes you laugh.
I'm not all the way down.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's okay. You know what? Thank you for volunteering. Everything that I've given you is now removed. Thanks. Have her take a. Go ahead and take a seat. Thanks so much. I think what happens is when I have a show, there's other routines that we can do, and why don't we conclude that now, because we're getting probably to that time. And, you know, I can open this up for questions, or if you want me to tell you a little more about hypnosis. I am an internationally published author. I've written about the mindset. It's a natural state of mind, and you can use hypnosis for all kinds of things, to overcome challenges, to create success in your life. So I'm going to bring Carter out, and he won't remember a thing, but he'll just know that he felt really good in this really deep state of relaxation. Okay, Carter, on the count of 3, you'll bring your full awareness back. 1, gently coming up. 2, feeling calm, collected, and serene. Number 3, notice how good you feel. All the suggestions have now been removed. Stand up and take a bow. You've been great. Thank you, Carter. So what would you like to do? How much time do we have?
Let's take some questions from the
Okay.
audience. If anybody has any questions for Dr. Horton or the state of mind.
Okay, well,
I wonder if this would apply to athletic performance.
absolutely.
If I'm putting, for example, in golf.
You know, trust me, it works so phenomenally well for golf. I actually have a golf CD up here if you want to take a look at some of my products. Golf is a mental game. Yes, you have to have skill, but it's actually, they say 80% mental. I think it's even more so than that because we have this mind-body connection. You get upset, instead of moving on, it ruins your next shot or your short game, what have you. A lot of people have difficulty, so it works. I worked with the Broncos, so I worked with a lot of professional athletes. In fact, two of my friends, and whether you're a Red Sox fan or not, they hypnotized the Red Sox, and that's the year they won the pennant. Good question.
I'm not sure many are familiar with the term road hypnosis, but I think we all experienced it from time to time. Can you explain?
Yes, absolutely. Basically, this is really a good question. What happens is we do things subconsciously. In fact, let me grab this. We think that we're doing things consciously, we're not. We have to have patterns that are created in our minds so that we don't have to redo things. But the problem is that some patterns we have are not good habits. This is the subconscious mind. This is the major part. This is the driving force. This is the silent partner in your world. You think that it's the conscious mind, it's not. The subconscious mind is what's driving you. So here's an example. Right now, if you look at this, you'll see that it's just a random set of dots, right? Or all of a sudden, does it make a square and a triangle, or is it like a choo-choo train? But it's just a random set of dots. But if I do this and I show it to you again, it should just be a random set of dots, correct? Or no, now it has a pattern, doesn't it? You see, the mind wants completion. So when you learn something one way, it doesn't like change, and that's why we have a difficult time in changing, because the mind doesn't want to have to learn it over again, because we don't want to have to keep rethinking it. So that's what we do with keys or driving or what have you. But then again, some of the imprints that you have, either whether they were you were influenced by your role models, and somebody said, well, you have too big of ears, you got too big of feet, and then you feel self-conscious about it, so it sabotages your success. Those are imprints that we don't need in our minds. So any more questions?
Yes, in your anesthesia work, do you do anesthesia, surgical anesthesia, for example, for children? Is there one age group that's more appropriate or more susceptible? How you have to work with patients?
That's a really good question. I worked with an individual as young as 3 years old. They have to be able to focus and follow direction. What's interesting though, children are already in a hypnotic state. They're already open to it and they think it's fun. So we have certain types of stories and scripts that we say to them, whereas adults, we're, again, a lot of times really, as far as our imprints, the patterns are already set. So it takes us a little while to work with them. But you have to have an intelligence of 60 or better, and you have to be able to focus. That's why I've given shows, presentations to groups. If they drink too much, it won't work because the people can't focus. So I have to have somebody that focuses. And actually, the more intelligent you are, the easier you're more susceptible. It doesn't mean that you're weak-willed or whatever. It just means that you're able to follow directions better and you're more intelligent. So there you go. Yeah.
So what would you say the long-term implications are for therapy for trauma and PTSD?
Well, the thing is, and a doctor wanted to work with me. And PTSD can be really helped with hypnosis. It won't take away the experience, but it will take away the energy and the feeling of that. And we've got vets that are committing suicide. They don't want to be medicated. They want to be able to live normal lives. They'll know that they have been over there, but there won't be any type of traumatic energy associated with that. We have gone to the VA, but they want medical doctors, and I'm a PhD, but they want medical doctors to work with hypnosis, and they haven't been trained in it. So, a good question. Hypnosis is, even with PTSD, as far as accidents go, it takes away the fear, because the subconscious mind is the protective part of your mind, and we need to take away the fear. I hypnotized a skier because he knocked out his teeth, he kept breaking his